rotating brownouts and blackouts, high electric bills. These are just some of the many problems caused by power crisis, and the Philippines is no stranger to that. This is the Malampaya gas field, and it extracts natural gases and condensate from the depths 80 kilometers northwest of the Palawan Basin. At 83,000 hectares, it is the only natural gas field in the Philippines. It was first discovered in 1992 by Shell, where huge reserves of natural gases that are mostly 85 to 90% methane and other hydrocarbon compounds. It is formed beneath the Earth's surface over millions of years by the decomposition of organic matter. These are extracted and then processed on an onshore gas plant in Batangas, then serves as fuel for big power plants that produce electricity in Luzon. Ever since the inception of Malampaya in 2001, it accounted for 30% of power in the main region of Luzon. As the country transitions to renewable sources of energy, flexible and quick-reacting natural gas plants will be crucial in keeping the lights on at times. Simply put, for the country to truly head towards a renewable future, the demand for natural gas will also increase. Right now, Malampaya is the only sizable source of natural gas in the Philippines. Malampaya's gas fields, however, are expected to be depleted by 2024. So why should the Philippines go all in on clean and renewable energy?
The Philippines is facing an impending power crisis. The Malampaya gas fields, which supply about 30% of Luzon's power grid, are expected to be depleted by 2024. In fact, we have already seen the early effects of this power crisis. The Luzon power grid has been placed under yellow alert several times in the past year, which means that in these instances, the power reserves fell below the designated safety margin due to insufficient supply. Here in Eastern Visayas, we are also experiencing the effects of this crisis, where the region has currently one of the highest power costs in the country, ranging from 17 to 20 pesos per kilowatt hour. Electric cooperatives in the region explained that this hike in power rates are due to the rising cost of coal fuel by the plants that supply the region with electricity. It is also worth mentioning that a large chunk of the country's power grid comes from coal, which makes it possible for more electric cooperatives that are supplied by coal power plants to further increase their rates. This power crisis underlines the need for the country to go all in on investments on alternative energy, particularly those coming from clean and renewable sources, in order to mitigate the economic repercussions that this and future power crises may cause. But before we dive into why the Philippines should prioritize clean energy, let us first understand what exactly clean energy is.
Clean energy is an umbrella term used to describe energy that is generated from facilities that do not release greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide and methane as byproducts of the energy production process. This is important as this allows us to generate electricity while having a small carbon footprint. This term is also interchangeably referred to as renewable energy. Renewable energy comes from sources that are replenished more than they are consumed. For example, sunlight, wind, and geothermal energy are renewable sources because the sun keeps shining, the wind keeps blowing, and the Earth's inner layers keep heat regardless of how much we use these sources for energy. Let us shortly go over a few types of clean renewable energy sources. The most abundant source of energy is solar energy, which may even be used under cloudy conditions. The rate at which the Earth absorbs solar energy is around 10,000 times higher than the rate at which people use energy. These technologies use photovoltaic panels or solar radiation concentrating mirrors to turn sunlight into electrical energy. Another renewable source is wind energy. Large wind turbines placed on land, in salt water, or fresh water are used to harness the kinetic energy of moving air. Onshore and offshore wind energy technology have advanced in the past decades to maximize the amount of electricity produced using higher turbines and bigger rotor diameters. Geothermal energy is also a renewable energy source. Geothermal energy makes use of the thermal energy that is available from the Earth's interior. Geothermal reservoirs can be heated using wells, or other methods. Geothermal power plants harness the Earth's heat to rotate turbines, which generate electricity. Lastly, we have hydropower. Water traveling from higher to lower elevations can be used to generate electricity through hydropower. It can be produced by rivers and reservoirs that can either rely on the river's flow or the movement of stored water in dams. This is currently the largest renewable energy source and can also act as a source of water to localities.
Now that we know the different types of clean, renewable energy sources, it is apparent that the Philippines is a suitable place for harnessing these sources. The country experiences a tropical climate, which means that it receives adequate rainfall and sunlight all year round. It is also home to various volcanoes, which are suitable sites for geothermal plants. Moreover, the country also experiences weather patterns that come with strong winds. The Philippines surely utilizes its natural resources as an energy resource. Currently, renewables make up about 35.5% of the country's energy mix, which means that a huge portion of the country's power grid is supplied by renewable energy sources. The country's renewable energy sector is made up of geothermal, solar, hydropower, wind, biomass, and ocean energy. So the government has also taken steps to increase the market share of renewable sources in the country. The Department of Energy had loosened restrictions on foreign ownership in the renewable energy sector in the hopes of encouraging more foreign investments to build renewable energy infrastructures. The agency also included qualified and registered renewable energy plants in the country's wholesale electricity spot market, or WESM. This move allows renewable energy to be easily acquired in the country's electricity trading market. The Department of Energy targets to increase renewable energy share in the country's energy mix from the current 22% to 35% by 2030 and 50% by 2040 to prevent unstable power supply causing rotational blackouts and high electric bills.
This huge step towards renewable energy sources is extremely important as the country continues to grapple with an unstable power supply which has already caused rotational blackouts in several regions of the country, particularly in Luzon. In the past year, there have been several times that the Luzon grid had insufficient reserves to keep up with the demand for electricity. Increasing power rates have also been observed in 2022, where regional power rates were reported to be as much as twice as high as power rates in the National Capital Region. These hikes have been attributed to the increasing prices of oil and coal in the global markets. The most pressing concern that the energy sector has is the eventual depletion of the Malampaya gas fields in 2024, which supplies about a fifth of the country's power grid. The loss of this resource may also lead to rotational blackouts, primarily in the National Capital Region, which may be detrimental to the economy as it can derail several industries, primarily in the production and in the service sector.
Turning to alternative energy sources in the form of renewables can significantly mitigate the detrimental effects of the country's power crisis towards the economy. This makes investments in infrastructure in the clean and renewable energy sector a positive step towards the development of the country. Not only can these investments make the country energy self-sufficient, this will also introduce jobs and revenue which could help the country's economy.
What can steamroll the further development of the renewable energy sector is effective partnerships between private companies and the government. A high level of transparency, trust, and collaboration must be achieved between stakeholders in the electricity sector to expedite plans in building renewable energy power plants. The government should also craft laws that will support these efforts and create safeguards in partnerships with foreign companies. Aside from that, electric cooperatives, together with the country's energy agencies, must work together in making renewables more available in the market and to other areas of the country to reduce the reliance on fossil fuel-produced electricity.
In short, effective collaboration is needed between all involved parties that can make the Philippines a center for sustainable energy production. All things considered, the Philippines must truly go all in on the development of the clean and renewable energy sector. The country is abundant in natural resources which could be used as sustainable energy sources. Furthermore, it is apparent that there are efforts done by the government already to move towards renewable energy. And the impending power crisis, as well as the increasing prices of oil and coal, all underline the need to further invest in renewable energy. If the Philippines truly intends to become energy self-sufficient with 50% renewables in the country's energy mix by 2040, then effective collaborations between the government and private companies coupled with a strong political will are truly what the country needs.